One other thing that I did want, I remembered the other day. I was in FedEx in Belden. There's a lady that's been following me around for about 2.5 years. She said something about a Christine. I remember that name from Ravenna. And they're supposed to work for Dave. Okay? People talked about, I don't know who these people are. I don't know their names. They just follow me around. People talk to them or talk about them. Okay. So, now we all know I have a neurogem. March 15th of 19, my father died. I started a new job at Check and Go on Whipple. It's no longer there, but there's a Subway by the BMV. And I moved out of Ravenna April 4th of 19. Okay? There's only a 2.5 week span. I went in and there's a man in there. He looks at me and said, I won't have her around. I barely tolerated Lori. I will not tolerate her. And he's insulting and he said, I only tolerated Lori because of Craig. And he's insulting her and me. And I'm trying to get my lunch and I'm just looking at him. Well, I went home to my house in Ravenna. I looked up in the air. Now my house is bugged from the FBI. I went, if you don't think I know you're there, you're wrong. And were you not raised better than to insult someone's family? Okay. So the next day, a bunch of the trucks that would follow me were fishing. Two big guys are there. One looked at me and said, I was raised better. That's why I'm here. Working security. So I went home and I felt bad and I apologized. That man is here from Craig's past. That's not funny. My brother-in-law was a private consultant for the FBI. Unrestricted, did war weapons. He worked at the Pentagon. He worked under Dick Cheney. Okay. That's how not fun. And he died March 26, 1990. For a man to be here from 31 years ago. It's not funny that he's my sister. And why is he helping bastards? My brother-in-law had 5 attempts on his life before he died. Do you remember the Ireland plane that got blown up? He was supposed to be on it. He was working out of country and he changed planes the last moment to get by Lori's home. Okay. Then he was out of country again. He'd go for like 30 days. He sped up spyware, satellites, did war weapons. He was at an office building. They shot it up. And he had to hide in a computer panel. He was in a hotel. And they did the same. And his father, Mel, was freaking out. He gave him a Visa card. He's like, if they don't get you out of there as a if they don't get you out of there, come home as a civilian. Well, I came home around Christmas, and somebody hit him really hard and pushed him across Whipple. Well, come March 26, 1990, he had come home early, a couple days from assignment. And he was moving paperwork between the buildings. A gravel truck came around the road, and on the third car back only, it turned over. And the impact knocked his seat backwards and broke his neck. And a ton of gravel was on top of him. And an officer had to dig him out with a shovel. There was an air pocket between that, so his whole face and stuff didn't get crushed. But the impact broke his neck. He was a brilliant, genius, kindest, sweetest man you'd ever meet. Good to everyone. You would never meet a finer man than what my brother-in-law was. He met my sister when he was a teenager working at Burger King. The government offered him a job when he was at Akron U. He wrote a computer panel for college, and it was that good. He was an amazing, kind genius. So for all the, I remember his father being pissed. You can't tell me it just turned over on his vehicle. And they told him to stay out of it. Now, somebody from his past helping out here, it's not funny. Not funny at all. And especially helping that occult get away with murder. Now, an attempt to murder and extortion, because he hates my sister. Another thing is, December 16th, Bobette of 18, I went down, I think it's the 16th or 18th, at 1:21 p.m., I think, I'll send it with the email. I went to Bob Evans in Belden Village Mall, North Canton. A bald guy showed up with a red beard and a crazy blonde lady and a table full of their men. He sits behind me. I'm Karen's handler. Those are my men, easy boys. And I'm a crazy blonde lady. I'm a psychiatrist. Okay, if you're a real handler, you're going to turn around with your ID, show me your badge, and give me a card how to get a contact with you. Just don't say it. They hired those actors. That lady was so crazy. She ran around acting like a fool in public. Dave had damaged my ribcage. I didn't answer my phone. I didn't want to die. Especially after I almost got shot driving. He had chicken wing my arm, knocked me in the railing, punched me twice in my stomach. He missed it on my phone. There's an emergency report and a scope. Is he in jail? No. Did I report it? Yes. Did they arrest him? No. Where he even squeezed my face till it's black and blue and popped me in the ribs and buckled and then put a bruise on my stomach for 2 weeks. Is he in jail? No. Nothing. She ran around. Now, I got him admitting to crap like that. And that they paid people to know where I was. They had people threaten me and worse. Is he in jail? No. But she ran around telling people not to meet me because the way I spoke to Dave. Well, after the gunshot night, they said to kill people. He put a threat on Dixie and the baby's life and mine, and I almost got murdered, and their vehicles are getting tampered with. He had moved out of the room, took all the money. I had to sell things. Our water was toxic up there, and we had the water treatment system. I still would never drink it. And there's only certain things I could keep down from the intestinal swelling. So I had to sell things for money to survive. And he makes $110,000. There's no excuse. He even, I went up to him and I said, I need money to pay my bills because he took all the money. He's like, I'll give you money to touch you. I looked at him and told him to go fuck himself. She ran around telling men not to meet me after the way I dare speak to Dave. The way I spoke to Dave. That's how she put it. Don't meet her. Do you want her to speak to you after the way she spoke to Dave? I get up and walk out. I was in Verizon. Some guy comes in and she's like, did she see you? And all this other, don't. I'm like, oh my God. The lady's a Looney Tune. And he's probably doing her too. Now, it was so crazy. They had a bunch of people, they were paying a tank full of gas to follow me around. And if I made a mistake, people would get anything from like a cell phone to clothing. They had like contests to make fun of me. It's not funny. They had fun at their victim that they're trying to kill. And why? Because Dave's dating an agent's daughter. It's not that I ever did it. Oh, the way the FBI tells everybody she never did anything wrong before. Really wrong. She never has. They tell everybody she did stuff wrong. That's why we helped out. I'm like, some guy came up to me and said, for every idle word you say, I'll turn it on you. If you tell, I'll turn it on you. So I stayed quiet. Told you about the rape and torture agent and stalker involved, an old fat white man. They sold the login. Over 20, 30 people said they seen it, and I was warned to be quiet. I'm going to go ahead and upload this with the other videos. They walked by and they said, we told people not to believe. There's real cases. Real logins. And you can actually see them doing the crimes. I go to Faith Family Church on 77. A lot of them haven't. Dr. Rapika's office out in Warren, Youthology, a lady showed up, yelled at some agents that were mean to me. And from the I think she was from domestic violence. Things I said in Ravenna. I go to Youngstown gas station. Karen, she looks at me and says, Will knows that chip needs to come out. Oh, let's see, the Macedonia Fire Department. My God, someone in Bedford. I mean, you just, Canton people said they taped the whole case. Akron Amazon delivery driver. There's real cases. Construction workers say stuff about the rape and torture. Hartville gas station. They found the tape of the rape. Yeah. And the gunshot night. And the details people yell at me. Little kid in a drive-thru. We all know what happened to Karen. Somebody needs to come down and help me. I need medical treatment. I need the chip out. The hospital said if you take the chip out and the swelling, my brain will go back to normal. I may have a scepter, in fact, where those idiots would break in and stab me with a needle. They don't drug people, but they corrupted people enough to try to make it look official. And they don't use the neurochip, but they did. Just like they did in 2005, and 33 agents went to jail for RICO charges in that court order. Yeah, an illegal synthetic electronic war weapon to silence whistleblowers. And for the so-called truth. And they put the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th in for mind controlling chips because they can send false bosses. I'm going to go ahead and upload this one also. Someone needs to... Oh, Kurt Schuring's office looked into it. Senator Schuring's. Yeah, yelled at a bunch of them. I know what... This guy was there. He's like, I already know what you did to her, and you leave her alone. There's a CT of it at Mercy Medical Radiology Department. Agency took responsibility. Altman Hospital, 313. This year at 2:53 p.m. They have been blatantly blaring their crimes and don't care who knows. So somebody big does need to fix this. Or please, I don't want to die for bastards. I almost died trying to get them caught because my granddaughter's on that list. And her telling who else.